Hello everybody, this is Milad and here's Tampere city in Finland. Well, in this video I want to talk about the reason why I quitted actually PhD studies and I started working as a web developer here in Finland. So first I want to talk about my story, what I did before, and then I want to talk about this topic that is it worth it to, pursue a PhD or actually starting your job as a developer or a software engineer, because there are a lot of people out there, they're deciding which path is better, starting a PhD or working as a developer. And if you're deciding about this, well, this video is for you. The answer is depending on sorts of things. There is not easy to give you a general answer for that. It depends on the situation, but I try to talk about most of them in this video. So first, let me tell you about my story. Well, it was around 10 years ago that I graduated with a degree in electronics. Before starting my bachelor studies, I was really fond of programming, and mostly I remember that it was about Visual Basic, and I used to create some really small Windows applications for myself, nobody else, just for myself. And it was fun, but it wasn't really close to doing web development or software development at all. It was just some practices. Then I became really interested in how programming works actually in the first place, because it was really a mystery to me how people say that it's zeros and ones, but how it works based on zeros and ones. Is it possible even? So I became interested in digital electronics, and that was the reason to some extent why I chose electronics as my major for bachelor studies. And then, well, it was during the core digital electronic courses that I learned that how you can actually build a really small device based on zeros and ones. It's really a small computer, we can say, and it was really fun. And after that I worked with all sorts of modules, AVRs, ARMs, microcontrollers basically, and I learned how to program them. And then I realized that, well, it's again programming. It's not anymore about electronics, it's again programming. And these days, with all sorts of devices we have, everything are ready to use actually. You don't need to build an electronic device to start coding. So after that I figured out that, well, it seems that there is no need to be an electronic engineer. You just need to be a programmer to work with this sort of devices. And then I became interested in machine learning, so I chose biomedical engineering, which was really related to electronics. And I was also curious about how to use electrical topics in biomedic. So biomedical engineering was a cool area. So I started learning a lot of machine learning stuff in master's studies as a biomedical engineer, and again it was all about programming. But after my master's studies I hit my first job as a web developer back in my country, Iran, and that was quite fun. And that was the point of it. Before that I used to create some WordPress websites and designing some templates, but then when I started working as a web developer, it was the peak that I understood how what it means to be a web developer, and that was the moment I understood that I want to be a programmer forever. I don't want to be an electronic engineer. So basically, I was during masters. I started working on some papers, and I started learning how to, read a paper and then implement the paper, all sorts of algorithms, and that was the point that I understood that I love both coding and researching, and this is a really difficult situation. Because you like both researching and working as a developer, but the paths are completely different. So there were a lot of fluctuations in my way. I started, after being a web developer, I started working because I was really interested in machine learning, and I was really interested in doing research. So I took another career. It was being a machine learning engineer, which was something in the middle. It wasn't exactly a programming thing, it wasn't a web development thing, and also it wasn't exactly doing research, but it had from both worlds. And this is my advice for you: if you're interested in machine learning or data science, well, this is and if you're interested in doing research and also like programming, so this can be a good path for you, whether you want to pursue a PhD or not. And then after that, that was the time that I decided to continue my PhD. And there was an opportunity here in Finland that, well, the supervisor of the project wanted somebody that who is willing to work on a database management system as a developer, and at the side study his PhD. So I thought, well, it's cool, it's a good opportunity for me, so I took it. But I was only 1 year at the university studying PhD, then I left it to start working as a web developer. And the reason was really simple. The topic was the first thing that I wasn't really fond of that much. It was about biology and this sort of things. I expected to be in a more biomedical space and work on machine learning stuff, but it wasn't like that exactly. It was more biology thing. So step by step, my interest in my interest to the project decreased step by step along the way. And there was a point that it wasn't really important for me if I want to continue this PhD or not. And then after 1 year, there was another sad news. My supervisor told me that there is no sign of fund because he proposed something, then they rejected his proposal actually, and there was no sign of fund for the next year. So there was no choice but to leave the PhD studies, because actually, if you want to, here in Finland you can pursue PhD without paying any money to the university. You just need to make some money for yourself, for the rent, for the food, and that's all. So I had the opportunity to work and as a side study my PhD, but well, the PhD title wasn't what I really wanted to do. So that was the point that I decided that not to continue with that path. And I'm quite happy with starting working as a web developer. And basically what I was doing during that time, during the first year of PhD, was web development and working on, it was something like the database management system for their data gathering system, something like that. It was a web-based application to gather data. So, but the language was really weird. I remember it was called Fusion language and framework, which is not really popular at all these days. It's dead, but for some reason the project was still on that, and the resources is not really good on that topic to learn from. Anyway, now I'm a developer here in Finland, but let me answer this question: that is it worth it to pursue PhD or working? Well, at the end, even if you get your PhD, you need to work. If you want to be a programmer, nobody cares what degree you have. We have PhD degrees in our company. Nobody knows they have a PhD. Nobody asks you if you have a PhD or master's degree. They just want to interview with you. Well, if you want to be in the bigger companies, biggest companies in the world, well, there is a chance that they might care about that, but only for some areas and some topics. For instance, if you want to work as a machine learning engineer or data scientist, probably they're gonna need a degree in related area, master's or PhD. But if you want to work just as a web developer, they don't care about your degree. They just care about what you know about programming and what is your experience and history. So yeah, it depends on the path. So I think if you want to be a web developer, it doesn't matter if you pursue PhD. If you want to work in a high-tech area like machine learning, data science, this sort of things, well, having a PhD can help you and make things easier for you. However, it's really difficult after PhD. Finding a job can be a little bit difficult because with your age and with your experience, you don't have any experience, actual experience in real world. But you have other opportunities. You can continue the path to be a postdoc student again. You can be a professor at a university. That's a completely different path. But I think it depends. It depends on a lot of things. That was my story, and there is a chance that at some point I want to continue PhD because, as I told you, I like doing research. And so if you want to do it, just do it for the passion for doing research, nothing else. Don't do it because you think that you can get a better job in the world of software engineering. No, it's not like that. That's it, I think. It was just an honest talk with you guys. This is my opinion, but please watch other videos and listen to other people as well to decide which path is better for you. Thank you for watching this. Please consider subscribing to my channel and hit the like button. See you soon.